Coming up, the USA's Alexis Ruiz goes in search of her first win in her debut season. Mr. Perfect is a hot favourite to collect another gold medal, and two of Europe's compound powerhouses go head-to-head. Last time out, there was drama in Antalya when James Lutz of the USA and South Africa's Daniel Wenzel topped the podium. This time we're in Berlin for stage 4 of the 2019 Hyundai Archery World Cup. Places for the World Cup final have already been decided, but there are gold medals at stake here in the German capital on Compound Saturday. The USA's Alexis Ruiz has had a stunning debut season, with bronze medals in Medellin and Shanghai and silver in Antalya. She's already booked her place in the World Cup final in Moscow alongside her opponent, Sophie Daudemont of France.
Nine. 10. There you go, great shot.
So nice X to start the match for Alexis. You see the deep breath afterwards. She's happy to get that first arrow downrange.
Ouais, c'est bien. Parfait.
PJ Deloche there with Bouche and Pinal in the French crowd supporting Sophie Daudemont. The French part of the crowd, I should say.
Sophie says, I'm not going away quietly. Follows up her 9 with 2 10s.
Well, it's been a dream debut season for the teenager from the USA, medaling at every stage of the World Cup so far.
A little bit of movement in her stabilizer, you can see, but solid 10 downrange.
There you go, great shot right there. Passe bien sur le 10. Allez, vraiment pas loin, à 2 heures.
So the door's open now. Can Alexis close it?
Yep.
Little wince there. That's marked as a 9.
Sophie. Garde bien le regard dessus.
Got the asterisk there, so that will go to a measure, that second arrow for Ruiz. Daudemont, another one into the X-ring here for the French athlete. Ruiz needs a 10 to confirm level pegging in the second end.
Oh,
an 8.
And that went off way too quickly. You could tell she was not ready for that. She was probably not in the middle with her sight.
Well, now this measure becomes very important. She wants that 9 to be marked up to a 10.
Okay, yes. Target 2. X, 10, 9. Yes. Yeah?
That's Daudemont's target. Didn't hear the result of that 9.
X10-8. I heard the judge just reading back.
Perfect. And look at that. She does get that 9 marked up to a 10. A 28 plays 29, but look at the final scores, 58 apiece.
Like you're doing great, right in the middle.
Daudemont level with Ruiz. We go into the third.
Right in that hole. She's got that nice hole in the X-ring. And as a compound archer, that gives you something really good to aim at when you got a nice big black hole.
10. There you go. That's full shaft in at 10 o'clock.
Ouais, ça construit et après ça passe sur le 10.
Great angle there down the arrow. You can really get a good feel for what the archer's seeing.
Ouais, espacé. 5, 4,
Long hold.
3.
Big wobble as well.
Yeah, she was getting blown. It looked like the wind was really affecting her on that arrow. So Alexis has wide open chance here.
Okay.
9.
That's a tweener right at 10 o'clock.
Some more movement again by Sophie on that end. She's shaking her head as she's coming off. Looks like the wind is picking up down there.
10. Yep, good now.
Yeah, we see the groups definitely opening up by both archers.
Okay.
Well, it was promised, wasn't it? And funnily enough, the clouds have cleared up a little bit here, but that's because the wind is blowing them out of the way, and it's blowing these two all over the shop. Dodemont trailing Alexis Ruiz in the gold medal match here in Berlin.
Ouais, ça touche.
That looked like a much better shot. She was in command, in control of that. Still just a 9, though.
Okay, great shot right there. X, good job.
So potentially a 3-point lead now. Really, Alexis is just going to relax and try to bring this home.
Ouais, ça touche en bas. Allez, c'est bon, Sophie.
Nice touch, says Sebastian Brazer.
Yep.
And a 9 there for Ruiz. Can Dodemont capitalise?
And again, that first arrow now's got a star, so there is a chance it could be a 10. But that's definitely a 9.
Shaking her head there, she, I think, is rueful of perhaps a poor execution, and that's why. The grouping fantastic for Ruiz. Matched on score, well, same match on score, 1 point up for Ruiz, but subject to another measure, Dodemont's trailing may well be cut to just 2 points.
La troisième, elle est...
Oh, it was upgraded.
Good shout there.
So 2-point lead for Alexis with 3 arrows left in this match. So if Alexis can put down 3 10s, she knows she's won.
Well, she can even throw in 1 9, can't she?
She can.
So here we go. This for the gold medal here in Berlin. Sophie Dodemont, trailing by 2, will shoot first in the final end. Much more solid.
Much better shot. She took her time and executed right into the X ring.
Yep, X covered his
And
head.
Alexis follows it up.
Even with her experience, the pressure must be immense for Sophie Dodemont.
Oof, that's the
8 bas
match.
droite.
Luckily for both of these archers, they've already qualified for finals. Does not matter who wins the match in terms of
Solid
finals.
10.
Oh, I don't think Ruiz will be thinking that. She wants the gold after the season she's had. It would just cap things off. Another wobble from Dodemont.
And you see her bow going side to side there.
Ouais.
But that great X to finish.
Holds it together. A 7 is all that's required from Ruiz. Fancy she's going for the center of the target, though. Oh, she gets an 8. And look at the disappointment on her face. She's just taken the gold here in Berlin, and she's, well, miffed that she shot an 8.
Yeah, you never want to win that way. You want to win shooting a 10.
What a season she's had. 2 bronze medals, Medellin and Shanghai. The silver in Antalya. But
And
this is
finally,
the gold.
her gold.
It means everything. I worked so hard this year, being in the finals on every stage. I think it all led up to this.
Alexis Ruiz qualifies for the final as a stage winner then. She'll be joined in Moscow by fellow stage winners Sarah Lopez of Colombia, Daniel Wenzel of South Africa and So Chai-won of Korea. Sophie Dodemont has already qualified for the finals on points alongside Toya Ellison of Slovenia and Tanja Jensen of Denmark. In the women's team final, Great Britain faced Turkey. It was the second consecutive medal match for the British compound women on tour after securing bronze in Antalya. Britain found their rhythm as the first end progressed, but Turkey made the strongest start to take an early lead. The British women were looking strong in end 2, but their final arrow let them down. Turkey capitalised to edge another point ahead in the match. Great Britain weren't finding the middle of the target often enough to mount a comeback in the third end.
9.
So 9 to finish and a 1-6-6 after 3 ends. Turkey were getting better as the match went on, and they built what looked like an unassailable lead. It was a disappointing finish to the match for the British women. Meanwhile, Turkey continued their imperious form to take the title.
Knew what to do and puts a 10 down there.
Great stuff from Turkey. It was a compelling matchup in the men's team final with two of the European compound giants going head-to-head as France faced Denmark. France made a real statement of intent in the first end, dropping only a single point. Denmark fell behind. The Danish men were inconsistent in the second end, and that left the door open for the French, who stretched their overall lead despite not quite being at their best. The Danes needed a big score to put the pressure back on their opponents in end 3, and they did exactly that. 3 10s for Denmark there, putting the pressure on the French team just when they need to. France responded well, but Denmark had clawed a point back in the overall standings. That was as close as Denmark came to mounting a comeback. The damage had been done earlier. France did what was required to take the match.
And 9 it is.
Still to come, Great Britain chased gold in the mixed team final. And could Turkey's Evren Kayran cause an upset in the men's final? It was hard to predict a winner in the mixed team final. Great Britain and Slovenia are separated by only 2 places in the world rankings, so it was going to take a special performance to claim gold. It was the Slovenians who edged ahead in end 1, dropping only a single point in a confident start. It was in end 2 that things turned in favour of the British team. After Ella Gibson and James Mason finished with 2 10s, Slovenia could only muster a pair of 9s. Great Britain already clear with a 1-point lead here. The pressure was on Slovenia. Toya Ellison and Stas Modik responded. And she's putting it right down the middle of the target here. Great Britain said, anything you can do, we can do better. And she's got it. Brilliant stuff from Great Britain. Slovenia were in fabulous form and threw down the gauntlet with their own perfect 40 in the final end. Great Britain refused to buckle under the pressure. Stayed cool, drops it into the 9. A 9 was all they needed. Great Britain have taken the gold medal here in Berlin in the mixed team compound event. Berlin is the 54th stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup, held since the circuit was founded in 2006. Only 3 archers have been to 50 or more.
I've been to 51 World Cups and nobody has outrun me on that. Well, I started shooting the international way before there was the World Cup. So I was on from day one. The first World Cup was Santo Domingo or something. What year I can't remember. Too long time ago.
Me, Peter Martin, we know so well this world, and we know very well each other. So there's some time, some year, some season that I saw much more them than my brother that lives 2 floors over me. So that's strange sometimes.
That's bizarre, because at first when I shot the World Cup final, it was still on 70 meters. Then it changed to a set system, a hit-miss system, and now to 50 meters. But the level is still rising and rising.
I remind only few pros. Now you can see in every country you can find some pros. So I think that the difference is a lot.
Being the newbie, then when it all started, going in there, oh, I wanted to win, wanted to do all of it, wanted to be on top all the time. Still wanted to win, still want to compete at the highest level, but maybe on a little bit more laid-back path.
When you're starting archery on this circuit and being in the World Cups, you're happy that you're there and you're just living the moment. But in the meantime, you're getting older. The more important those medals become for yourself, for your personally, and that making it harder as well. So these days, I'm trying to just maintain my focus and be as positive as I can and just making the memories again.
Well, I'm gonna fight for my spot as long as I can. I like being out here. I haven't done anything else, so that's what I know of, and I keep coming back as much as I can.
As I suggest to the new archers, every time you take your bow, it's a moment, it's a different day. And so breathe your moment, stay on the shooting line and shoot with a lot of competition. You can understand which kind of position you can take in this world, and maybe you can do better.
A one-sided contest was predicted in the men's gold medal match. World number 1 Mike Schlusser of the Netherlands was up against Evren Kayran of Turkey, who's ranked 11. Both archers already knew they were heading to the World Cup final, so with the pressure off, would that affect the outcome? It's a perfect Mike Schlusser who will shoot first in this gold medal match. Evren Kayran looking on, and it's a great start from Mr. Perfect.
We know Mike's had some trouble at the end of finals matches, so he's really going to want to get a solid lead going into those last final arrows.
Nine.
Opportunity.
And he matches almost in the exact same spot, those 2 arrows. You heard him. He knew.
Big opportunity here for Kayran.
Definitely. Can he capitalize? And yes, he does.
What a start from the Turkish archer, taking a 2-point lead after just one end.
And you see all that weight on Mike's bow. Mike shoots such a heavy bow.
Yeah.
10. 10.
Yeah.
Right on top of each other. That's what he needed here. 3 X's. He's going to be feeling good if he can
Well, you
do that.
called it. You called it, and you called it spot on. But Kayran just outside the 10 ring there.
So that's 1 point back.
Strong shot.
Good Turkish contingent in the crowd, of course, teammates and coaches.
Looks like they're calling it a 10.
So a 29 plays a 30 in the second end, but crucially, Kayran stealing the first 2 points, or the 2-point lead in the first set, clings on to that lead just by a single point.
Yeah.
10. 10.
Strong shot. Yeah.
10, 10.
Look at that group Mike has on the X ring. Just a great group. So there's that point back. So we're all tied. So at this point, Mike's going to want to put the pedal down. He's going to want to gain some points and build a lead.
Yep.
Well, another perfect score for Mike Schlusser. Pressure now on Kyran. Needs a 10 to stay level.
And he does it. Beautiful X.
29 points for Evan Chamberlain. Turkey, perfect score for Mike Schlusser.
All square, start of the fourth.
Again,
Schlusser
just
to shoot first.
look at all the weight off that bow. I can barely pick up Mike's bow. It's crazy how heavy it is. For those of you back home, that's a lot of weight on that. He's got it on the riser, on the end of each stabilizer.
Yeah,
He knew that one was going in the middle.
Look at this. Kyran has stepped up to the plate here. Look at that bow and that weight you were talking about.
Yeah,
But that allows him, he holds so steady, you see zero movement when he's at full draw.
3 perfect scores in a row for Mike Schlusser.
And there's
Just dropping a point again. So having snuck into the lead early doors, Schlusser has stuck to his game plan, stayed consistent, cut the lead down to nothing, and now he has edged 1 point ahead. Well, consistency is the name of the game. Schlusser shooting a 10 to finish things off. A third perfect 30 for him. The response from Evren Kyran was a 9.
He's not giving up easy. He's putting it down there, making Mike do his work.
Yeah, 10.
He was a little scared on that one. You could tell it broke a little quick.
That is the door open for Mike Schlusser.
So if Mike can put a 10 here, that'll give him a little bit of cushion for that final arrow.
Yeah, 10.
And he does.
He has not missed the 10 ring since the very first end.
See the wind picking up just a little bit. See his shirt.
Puts it in the 10 ring.
Mike, strong shot.
So Mike needs that 9 for the win. 8 will be a shoot off.
9 to win.
Oh my word! Oh, we've got the shoot off. We have got the shoot off. Schlusser dropping one into the 8. It's subject to a measure. Oh my goodness me.
And you see the look on Mike's face. He is crushed right now.
We have to wait for the
10.
official confirmation by the judge on this one. Looking close
8.
by.
It is an 8, and we have got a shoot-off. Schlusser shot a 10-9-8 in the first end. Since then, he's shot all 10s and X's until that very final arrow, needing a 9 to win, drops it into the 8. And Crystal, was it a too sharp a shot? Did he go too quickly?
I think this is just something Mike struggled with, that final arrow of the match. Like I said, he knew he needed a lead, and you see he knew it dropped down. And you just got to feel for him. I mean, you really got to feel for him in this case.
This for the gold in the men's individual compound here in Berlin. Another quick one and a high 9. Opportunity here for Evren Kyran. Bang! Straight down the middle. Evren Kyran takes the gold here in Berlin, and he is a World Cup stage winner.
Bununla kendimle gurur duyuyorum diyebilirim. Bu ikinci finalimde ve ikisini de kazandım. Sıra şimdi World Cup finale darısı diyorum. Çok heyecanlıyım şu anda, çok konuşamıyorum ama iyiydi, güzel maçtı yani.
A shock win for Evren Kyren then. He qualifies for the World Cup final as a stage winner alongside Mike Schlusser and a USA pair, Braden Gelantine and James Lutz. We now know our compound lineup for Moscow. In Medellin, Mike Schlusser and Sarah Lopez took gold. In Shanghai, Braden Gelantine and So Chai-Wan booked their places in the World Cup final. In Antalya, James Lutz and Daniel Wenzel topped the podium. And here, in Berlin, we've just seen victories for Evren Kyren and Alexis Ruiz. Heading to Russia as points qualifiers are Daniel Munoz, Joseph Basansky, Sergio Pagny, Toya Ellison, Tanya Jensen and Sophie Dodemont. Join us next time for the climax to the season, the 2019 Hyundai Archery World Cup final in Moscow.